Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video we are joined by Matt Dixon, the CEO and founder of advice.io. Now Matt has got over 18 years professional trading experience, and he's going to sort of run through some of the charts for the likes of Ethereum, Litecoin, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧, Sandbox. Is looking very, very promising. So if you like this sort of content and you want to support the channel, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and do let us know in the comments below what you would like Matt to chart next week. Really interested to get your views and opinions, and we will pass those on directly to Matt. So without further ado, let's get down to the desktop and let's see what Matt's got sort of in store for us today.
Great to be back, guys. Thank you for having me back again. Been really exciting development since we last spoke. The first week was just 3 weeks ago now that we started doing this, and if you remember at the time we were looking at a correction coming in the market, which, as we all saw, happened, so we were able to benefit from that. Last week I said that we virtually finished that correction, and you know, as I always say, I use Ethereum as a barometer for the market. It's a really good proxy for the whole market. Everything's so tightly correlated these days. So looking at Ethereum chart now, we can see I labeled it in two ways last week, potentially as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, or an ABC. And if you remember, we looked at another chart, it was ZIL, and that gave us a good indication, looking at the correlation there, that this was actually an ABC down in the market. And so we would look to advance much higher again from that low point. And that's exactly what's happened. So it's great that the analysis is really telling us stuff ahead of time. We compare the different charts and we can make some good money out of it. So you can see, looking at the green numerals there, that I've counted that as 1, 2, 3, 4 without a 5 at the bottom. That's not the one that we're following. We're following the A down. We're following this A down, B up, and the C down. So what we've had is actually the A wave is made of 3 waves. The B wave, if you looked at a shorter time frame, you'd see that's made of 3 waves. And then we've got a wave 1 down, 2 up, a strong wave 3, which is normal. And you'll see that's the extension on that is it's very well extended over the 1.618 times the wave A. So it's a solid wave there, and finishing in the C wave here. So from the C, we've had a complete correction there. That's A down, B up, C down, and so we're now starting to move up in an impulsive fashion. And you see from the bottom of the market, we saw some solid green candles there, all moving up sharply. That's not a choppy movement. That's what's called an impulsive move. It tells us that that's the new trend in the market, especially as we've completed the ABC down. So from the C down, we've had a wave 1 up. And again, if we looked at the shorter time frame, you'll see the wave 1 is made up of 5 waves. We move down in wave 2 here. So if I were to put some labels on there very quickly so that you can see what I'm talking about, there's a wave 1, just put a wave 2 in here. That's great. So you can see we moved up in wave 1, down in wave 2, which the wave 2 was an A down here, B up here, C down here. So it's a 3-wave move down, corrective. And then we're moving up quite sharply again. So the next wave after wave 2, obviously, is going to be a wave 3, if it's an impulsive move. And wave 3, all those smaller fractals are also made up of 3 waves. So within wave 3, we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's moving up very, very nicely. So basically, the 5 waves there are counted as a smaller wave 1 of wave 3. And we've got another correction down here as ABC. We're moving up so impulsively now. I mean, this was forecast last week quite clearly that we're near the end of the correction. So this is great when we combine it with the EVI ratings. And just to give you a little bit of background news on EVI, we launched our stable fund last week. We're receiving over $1 million a day into the stable fund. So it's been an amazing, roaring success. A lot of people buying EVI. So we saw the EVI price jump 25% overnight. And we're coming out with the AI fund sometime over the next month. We can't and we won't give an exact date for it because it allows people to front run the price. But once the AI fund comes out, we're expecting another ramp up in the price, and we also expect much further adoption of 𝗕𝗦. So 𝗕𝗦 is a great, offers people great potential. It's a great token in itself, and the staking fund is returning, if you hold for the full year, 26.5%, which is, I think it's a market beater, and that's why there's such heavy adoption. So that's just a little bit of news about 𝗕𝗦. So do visit our site, 𝗕𝗦.io, and have a look at what we're doing about rating all the tokens. So by combining the two, looking at the ratings, we can see that the overall market is now in an upward move, and we can identify those good quality tokens, particularly those that move up in rating, or those that are of a high rating and stable rating, and we can look to use those with certain directional indicators. Now, we have our own proprietary directional indicators within the AI fund that we're going to be using, but just from a personal point of view, you can use and you can master something like Elliott Wave as a very good directional indicator yourself. So you can look to buy the upgrades and sell the downgrades, so you make the very most out of the market in that way. So this is Ethereum, which, as I say, is the main barometer for the market. Litecoin, once again, it's one of my favorites that I've been shouting about because we had a very good impulsive move up just a few weeks ago. I indicated in advance that we're going to get the move down, and you can see the move from the top of wave 1 here. We've had a very clear ABC down to give us a larger A wave, ABC up to give us this larger B wave, and then we've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. That's called a flat correction. It's a 3-3-5 correction, and we probably had a triangle in the middle there as wave 4. Gives us a good indication that the next wave down is a 5th wave. It's a terminal wave, and so from there we've had a strong wave up in wave 1 here, a wave 2 down, and then we're looking at another wave 1, wave 2. We're working on wave 3 at the moment, a wave 3 within a larger wave higher. So there's a massive move up last night. We were positioned perfectly for this because of the wave count. We knew what was going to happen. We can see here, I put in green, that this C wave was exactly 1.382 times the A wave. Now, the way I've calculated that, if you look here, from the top of here, I start my Fibonacci tool there, and just moving that around, you can see I'm starting it at the top there, at the top of wave 1. And 1 times that, the full move here is to 1. That's 1, basically. Now, what I've done is move this down, and you'll see I've done it in a quite unusual way. Because there isn't, the Fib tool isn't amazing on TradingView. It's a good tool, but it could be better. So it only shows, when you're looking at extensions here, the first extension after 1 times is 1.618 times. What I often like to see this 1.382. It's one they should have in there, because 1.382, it's a very, very important Fibonacci number, 0.382. Yeah, so we've seen the move down in the wave C to exactly 1.382, and then we're moving up from there in impulsive fashion. So we saw some great moves up yesterday. Litecoin, what I wanted to talk about a little bit is just Sandbox. I haven't put the Fibonacci moves on there because I'm going to keep it again reasonably short today. And at some point, I'll try to make this interactive. We'll do this live, and I'll try and get do some charting live for you and answer some questions live. But Sandbox has been a major favorite for everybody involved in the digital space and the gaming space. It's a great new token, and from the beginning of the cycle here, you can just see, without even putting a Fibonacci on there, you can very easily see the impulsive nature of the move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all broken down into 5 waves there. And again, we're looking from this cycle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still in impulsive mode, and the reason we know that, we're looking at Ethereum as the barometer, which is going to go higher. So we're still in impulsive mode. We may get short-term correction, but we're going to go much, much higher. This is an amazing opportunity with Sandbox. And then just finally, there's one that's been lagging a bit recently with ZIL, we see here. We did very well out of that in the past. and quite interestingly, we got the C wave here. So whilst it's not moved much lately, this is actually a great opportunity. So what we're always looking for is the big opportunities moving forward. So we've completed the move down here. It's actually virtually on the long-term trend line higher. And if you remember longer term, we're looking at a big triangle here. I'll just try to show you that. So we had an A wave there. So we've got A, B, we've finished the C wave down here. We're going to get a D wave higher. So we've got quite a long way to move up here. It's probably a great time to get in because we're near a support line here, a really good trend line. And we're going to move up here to D, then down in E, and then another big move after that, much higher. This is a great time to get in long term. If you remember, I said triangles are a good predictable chart pattern that you can trade on. So the fact that we're getting in C here, the next move up to D, and even then the move down should be limited by this trend line here, which is a trend line for the triangle. So if we buy in around this level, we're looking really good for a long-term hold for this and some massive appreciation in the future. So again, just looking at combining ratings with some simple charting. We had here the A move down, the B move up, the C move down. We're going to get another corrective move to D. So, we don't make firm recommendations because we're not financial advisors, but just from a chart perspective, for me, this is a great buy with very little downside. And you can even use your risk controls here, and you have a stop loss below this level here. So very little downside. You can limit your downside if there were a down move for any reason, but you've got massive upside. So sorry to keep it short again. I'd like to have it a bit more interactive and have some more feedback on which particular charts you'd like me to look at. But please keep following 𝗕𝗓.io and ask me what you'd like charting, and let's get into some more detail in the coming week. But for now, we're in buy mode. We've bought a whole range of highly rated assets within 𝗕𝗓, and we're already in good profit. So we're protecting those profits already. We've locked in profits. So even if the market were to go down, we're protected. We've made some money, we've made some profit no matter what. And this is the way you need to trade, using very tight risk controls, using the chart patterns to identify your entry point. Once you identify the low point in the market, protect it. I don't use automated stop losses. I actually use manual place stop losses, because once you place a stop loss in the market makers can see it and can manipulate prices. And as you know, crypto is a highly manipulated market. So I keep quite a close eye on prices and a very close eye on the chart patterns, which seem to be adhered to by these big whales and market makers. They seem to follow these charting patterns very closely. So if we use the same sort of patterns ourselves to trade, then we're onto a solid thing. So thank you again for this week, and look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. Thanks, Matt.